The most overused and most gag-inducing marketing phrase is, "We're disrupting the industry." It's horrible, it stinks of bullshit, and 99% of the time it is bullshit. But then we get Tudor, a company who has never claimed to disrupt the watch industry, but they did, twice, and it's genius. Welcome back to Bark and Jack. I'm Adrian, and today we are looking at Tudor. This is my Black Bay 58. I haven't done a video on my Black Bay 58 yet, but if you're interested in Black Bay 58, hit subscribe, because if the rain stops in Scotland tomorrow, I'm going to be going out and shooting a video on my Black Bay 58. And the rain did stop. But today we're talking about Tudor and their activity and how they've disrupted the watch world in a massive way. And it is honestly genius what they've done. I'm a big fan of Tudor. I've spoken highly about Tudor in the past, and I've said this before. I do feel like Tudor has carried on where Rolex left off in 2010. When Rolex transitioned their sports models to be that maxi case and moved from aluminium bezels into ceramic bezels, I feel like that was their stamp to say, we are out and out luxury. They've always been luxury, but I feel like similar to Land Rover, they've had this strong heritage of adventure and character and sportiness, but now they don't. But Tudor does. Tudor does have characterful watches. They are sporty, they are premium, but I do feel like they have that genuine sporty, adventurous heritage in them. Now, despite my love for Tudor, Tudor has made the watch world really hard for pretty much everyone involved in the watch world. Whether you make watches, whether you blog about watches, or whether you buy watches, it's hard to ignore Tudor. Tudor has made it very difficult for watch brands all the way down the chain, brand new startups, micro brands, all the way up to Rolex. That whole massive, probably the largest majority of the watch world, they've really made it difficult for people. The first disruption happened in 2012. Comparatively, this is the smaller of the two disruptions, but the first one happened in 2012 when Tudor launched the Black Bay range. This was a selection of ETA powered, vintage inspired dive watches, but made to modern specifications and sizes. The most powerful thing about that launch, there were so many powerful things about that launch, but one of the most powerful things was the fact that they were able to do that vintage inspired look, inspired by their own products. So many people are doing vintage inspired watches, especially in the price range that these guys were working in, sub £3,000 watches, but Tudor were able to do it with their own product. They're so much more powerful than anyone else trying to design a vintage inspired watch. So the first disruption is the fact that the little brother to Rolex launches a vintage inspired, ETA powered dive watch for under £3,000. That pretty much destroys everything within that price range. The moment the Black Bay range was launched, it was a massive success. Well-spec'd watch, great looking watch, brilliant genuine heritage, and a well-priced watch. It was hard to ignore it, but the biggest gripe that people had was the fact it was still an ETA powered dive watch. Until 2016, when Tudor relaunched the Black Bay range with an in-house movement. It wasn't any in-house movement though, this was a COSC certified 70-hour power reserve in-house movement. They went in pretty hard on this one. Now, although the launch or the relaunch of the Black Bay range with the in-house movement was quite a significant update to it, that alone isn't really enough to disrupt the watch industry. It was what was going on in the background, or rather the infrastructure that allowed them to have that in-house movement. How could a watch company create a watch like the Black Bay range with an in-house movement and still keep it under £3,000? Commercially, that doesn't make sense. ETA are able to create cheap movements because their processes are automated, because they churn out so many movements, and therefore they have the economy of scale on their side. Now, Tudor, a large watch company, but nowhere near as large a watch company as what ETA is in creating their movements, it doesn't make sense that they're able to create this in-house movement for a couple of £100 more than what ETA are able to do. The R&D involved in creating all of that is massive, along with the transition of manufacture. So how do they do it? The way they did it They created a separate company called Kenissi, which makes the movements for Tudor. It is owned by Tudor, but it is a separate company. It's also owned by other people, Chanel being another one. But because it's owned by Tudor, they can say that these movements are built in-house. Because it's a separate company to Tudor, they are then able to sell these movements to other people. So they can then start to build on this economy of scale. They can then start to make the investment, the long-term investment into this infrastructure, which will bring down the cost of the manufacturing of this movement, making them similar to ETA. The genius part is the fact that because it's a separate company, Tudor can still protect the brand that is Tudor. So they can sell these watches, these movements rather, sorry, to other people, but these people can't say, oh, we're powered by Tudor, because they're not. They're powered by Kenissi. And this was kind of proven when Norqain started using movements by Kenissi in their watches. Now, I don't know much about Norqain as a brand, or I've never touched their watches. I only really heard about them when this came out earlier this year. And a very clever move by Norqain on their part, because every blogger, even the big H, mentioned Tudor when they wrote up about Norqain and their new movement. Once we're on the topic of Norqain, it'd be rude for me not to have a little bit of a rant about, well, just look at this page. The page title is Manufacture Caliber. Now to me, this implies that they are the manufacturer of the caliber. To be fair, they do go straight on to talk about their connection with Kenissi, but it's pure bullshit. This is marketing deception at its worst. Them calling this manufacture caliber, and the argument is going to be, oh, but the caliber is manufactured by someone. No shit. Manufacturers manufacture things. This is their way of getting around the in-house, non-in-house crap. Fair play to Norqain for getting a connection with Kenissi, but just tone it down with the bullshit, because we don't need it. It would be like me saying, I make watch straps. Over at barkandjack.com, I sell watch straps. I don't make them. I don't know how to make watch straps. I have a loose idea because I've seen enough being done. But if I was to make the watch straps, they'd be crap. I'd design the watch straps and get someone else to do it. Just like this strap. This is genuine Horween shell Cordovan leather. It's so thin because it is so strong. Shell Cordovan leather it's the rump of a horse. It's horsehide, and it really smells amazing. If you like this strap, or you want to check out the other straps that we have, jump over to barkandjack.com and check out what we have over there after the video. Don't do it now, do it after the video. Anyway, back to the topic. Tudor was able to disrupt the watch industry in this epic way, in this genius way, because they weren't just launching a new watch, they launched a whole new infrastructure. They went so far as swapping movements with other brands. With Breitling, they gave Breitling the time-only movement, and then Breitling gave Tudor its very highly regarded chronograph movement, the B01. Rolex and Tudor, these guys are on it. They are playing a different game from everyone else. Granted, they are in a very privileged position. They got themselves there, but they have an advantage. They've got a huge infrastructure of the bigger brother Rolex, and they have, no doubt, a massive bank account to do this stuff with. Guys, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you like the stylus video, hit the subscribe button down there and the little bell icon so you get notifications when I drop a new video. And if you're into Tudor, then hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to have... sorry if you don't like Tudor, because there are going to be quite a few Tudor videos coming out fairly soon. If you're on Instagram, give me a follow at barkandjack. If you want to check out the straps, jump over to barkandjack.com. There's also articles over there. And that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.